Live from our studios in Kingstown, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. It's your favorite Thursday night show, Up Late with Sion Marshall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the host of tonight's show, Sion Marshall.
Hello and good Thursday evening to you, wherever you are. Welcome to tonight's edition of Uplate with Sion Marshall. I am your host, Sion Marshall, and I will be with you for the next hour or so on this program as we discuss a number of issues. This evening program, this evening's program is going to be a little different. I've decided that tonight I'm going to use the opportunity to get viewers' feedback. Now, what that means is that I have not booked any guests. I am just going to open the lines and allow the viewers, you, the faithful individuals who view our program every single Thursday evening, to, as it were, test our telephone lines. We've introduced the calling feature a few programs ago, and almost every time we've had some issues. So this evening, I've decided that our program is going to be exclusively for the viewers, exclusively for call-in feedback. So you can call, interact, and that would give us an opportunity to test the telephone system that we've just introduced. So that's what tonight's program is all about. So I look forward to engaging and interacting with you, or faithful viewers, on tonight's program. Now, as usual, I'm going to take the first couple of minutes and ask you to do what I always ask to do, which is share the live. So I'm going to take a few minutes, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to try and share the live. So let's see, there we are. I'm going to share it on my feed, and I just simply put tune in now, right? And boom, it's shared. All right. I promised a friend of mine to send it to him on where are we? Yes, yes, yes. Um so I'm going to do that now. 1 second again. Where are we? And we're going to share that. Share. Uh-huh. Yes. Bear with me, bear with me. Yes, we've got it there. Right. Now, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, please share the live. If you're on YouTube, you can copy. If you click the share button, you would get the opportunity to either copy or share to your favorite social media platform, which is WhatsApp, Messenger, what have you. And you can share it directly there, or you can copy and paste it into whatever platform you choose. So I'm asking you, please share the live this evening. Now, I begin this evening's program with some really sad news. A couple of months ago, in January to be exact, when I came home for a couple of weeks of mental health, relaxation, and rest, I had the opportunity of meeting a young man, Moinson Jack. Now, I had not known Mr. Jack before, but I had heard of him. This time, he was introduced to me by my own uncle, who was on Sunday City a week ago, Mr. Bernard Louis Daisley. And Bernard, Uncle Louis, introduced him to me as the newly installed chairman of the South Windward Constituency Council. And that evening, I was at the house of Richard Byron Cox with a number of our friends and so forth. Louis was there, as I said, with Morrison. My good friend Osborne Bowens was there. Anthony Denny was there. Bling was there. Cock de Silva was there, and so on. And we had very robust discussion. And Moinson struck me as a very astute young man, very sharp in the mind, and we really engaged well. I met him a few times after that. And as I said, I found him to be a very pleasant young man, sharp mind, very astute. One morning this week, I woke up And I sat in the office and decided to scroll through Facebook. And the very first thing I saw was a post by Augustine Ferdinand with a photo of Moinson. Now, usually when those type of posts arise, or they aren't positive, and I saw the letters R.I.P. and immediately I picked up the phone to call Uncle Louis to find out what was going on. Moinson Jack, a young man, bright, his entire future ahead of him, dead at 33. I want to send condolences to his mom, Mrs. Mortal Jack, the rest of his family, his dad, all his friends, his family, his co-workers, on the passing of this really fantastic young man who, in my view, has so much potential. And it sounds cliche when in these circumstances you say something like, God knows best. I hear that all the time. But how do you say that to Mortal? I don't know her personally, but when I was a teacher, she made news as a teacher as well, and we stood by her. How do you say that to Mrs. Jack? That God knows best. What is best about taking her young son from her? And sometimes you question these things. And let me say this to you, Mrs. Jack. Nothing is wrong with questioning. The Bible says Job questioned God, and in all of that, he sinned not. So don't be afraid to ask him why. Don't be afraid, but ask him why honestly. But to you, Mrs. Jack, and the rest of your family, I offer my sincerest condolences on the passing of your son, the brother of his sister, and I hope that you find comfort and solace in this time of grief. Condolences to you. Now, as I said, this evening's program is going to be one of viewer interaction. You, the viewers of Uplift with Sion Marshall, who support the program faithfully every single week, are going to be given the opportunity to call the program. Now, remember, the number is 532-7650. And keep in mind that it's a WhatsApp call. All right, now let me see this. Let's try this. Give me a second. Let me go into the correct platform for this, so I'm able to see the comments, because sometimes I miss many of the comments, and I know a lot of the viewers are saying hello and good night, and they're commenting and so on. And sometimes the director put them up on the screen, and before I'm able to even pay attention to them, they're gone. So let me try and log into the correct area. There it is. There you are. And so we can do that. Right, and then content. There you are. All right, now I want to, Dabika, greetings to you, and please give my greetings to James as well. Dabika, you or James, feel free to call the program and give us an update on your uh, situation so far in New York. I know you fighting for the Beneran people. You and James are in New York trying to get certain things done through the United Nations system. And if you feel encouraged to update the Vincentian public on the journey so far, I would welcome your call. You just have to add us on WhatsApp. The number is 784-532-7650, and you can give us an update as to how things are going so far, what the process is like so far in New York, as you seek to have Bonaire relisted on the list of non-self-governing territories. I think that's the formulation that the UN system has. If it's not, you can call and correct us. All right. So greetings to you. And all the other followers, all the other individuals who listen to us. I'm not able to, for one reason, I'm not getting the comments. Oh, there they are. There they are. There's Dabika, right? The regular followers, I've not seen them logging in. Ev and Kojo and Marissa and Latoya, Miss Sharissa, and all of the others. If you log on, please give us the hello. And remember, this evening, please, I want to hear you. I want to interact with you. I want you to call. Let me hear you call. I'm trying, I'm doing my best so that we could uh, work out the kinks, all the kinks in the audio and in the new system that we've employed. And so I want you to give us a call. All right. So please don't be shy. I know you're not shy. Give us a call, 784-532-7650. That's on a number. It's a WhatsApp call. And once you give us that call, we will be able to interact and engage with you. All right. Now, on Sunday evening, I journeyed to, what did you place again? Sandy Bay, London, in Sandy Bay, at the Parmenas Ballantyne playing field. I think many individuals may have forgotten that, it's the Parmenas Ballantyne playing field. And uh, Randy Spartan, that's not his right name, but that's the name that everybody knows him by. He's a social media personality. He is hosting a T10 cricket competition, and it was quite an exciting atmosphere out there in Sandy Bay. The highlight, or my highlight of the afternoon, the highlight for me at the afternoon, I found a scooter. Now, for those of you who are familiar with scooters, it's a wooden implement that is built locally in the community with some rubber tires, some wheels, and it's our idea of a bike, something that functions like a bike. The only thing is it can't go uphill. You have to push it uphill, but it goes downhill quite well. And so I met this gentleman with a scooter, and I was able to borrow it from him just to pose. Lady M says she asked me because I posted the photograph on social media, and Lady M wants to know how I made it up because the gentleman doesn't lend the scooter at all. Well, maybe he realized I'm a nice guy, and so he allowed me to take his scooter and pose and took some photos and so forth. And that was quite the highlight for me. Now, mind you, as a child growing up, I saw scooters. I saw my brother and so on using scooter. But I never rode them. I never rode a scooter. Never had the balance to ride a scooter. I learned to ride bike later on, but I never rode a scooter. But I was able to pose on that scooter. So I appreciate that. And it was quite an experience for me. Just to pose and smile and have people comment thinking that I was actually riding scooter. I was not. I was not. So, but yeah, I intend by God's grace, if I'm alive, to go to the finals. I know Randy Spartan said to me that the final of the T10 competition is not this Sunday coming, but the next Sunday. So the intention is to go next Sunday to Sandy Bay, London, and for the final. And hopefully I see the scooter again, and I might get to pose again. You never know. All right. Now, yesterday, the 21st of May in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 21st of May 2025, was the first celebration of the Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day. And I'm going to conveniently omit the last word because I don't want us to get too focused on the last word. I want us to focus on the first four words: Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day. Now, I'm no historian and I haven't gotten the full history of it, but there is serious significance to the spiritual Baptist religion and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't know how many Vincentians recognize and understand the leadership role that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has in this region. Just this afternoon, I was having a discussion with my head of chambers, and he was saying that we are a unique people. We are a unique people. And unfortunately, we are yet to embrace our uniqueness, which embodies things like characteristics like resilience, strength, uh, and that comes from our historical uh, 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 construct, for want of a better word. You know, currently there is, all right, Tacho, I believe you that it was an awesome celebration, and I saw images of it on social media. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a resilient, resistant country. Currently in this world, currently, there is a conflict going on in the Middle East, in Palestine, where Israel, a country that is referred to as a colonizing power, a country that was taken to the ICC as an apartheid state, is being accused of many, even scholars, as committing genocide against the Palestinian people. The, Israel, the country Israel, which has nothing to do with scriptural Israel, and I'm no theologian, but I have common sense enough to know this, is accused of committing genocide against a people, wanted to eliminate an entire race of people, the Palestinians. And they are accused of committing significant atrocities that amount to war crimes. Hundreds of years ago, the British came here and they sought to do the same thing with an indigenous people. The Garifuna people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines fought colonialism for decades. I do not recall that history recorded on any other OECS, in the history of any other OECS countries. We, our people, our ancestors here on this island, in this country, fought against colonialists who sought to commit genocide against us and prevailed for decades, over 100 years. That element of our history is one that ought not to be forgotten or taken lightly. The resilience, the fighting spirit of our people. And so sometimes you wonder, when we are faced with different types of disasters, where does that spirit come from? Where does the energy, where does all of it come from to fight, to persevere? It is in our bones, from the ancestors, the Garifuna, the people who fought. They fought against weapons of mass destruction back then and fought steadily, resisted slavery, decided, listen, we would rather die than be enslaved. Good evening, Kojo. And I'll tell you this, a part of our history, our resilience, is the spiritual Baptist movement. You think, do you hear any story of Garifuna resistance in St. Lucia? Do you hear Garifuna resistance in Grenada? Do you hear of Garifuna resistance in Barbados or in Antigua and Dominica? Listen, Dominica has, I don't know if you know this, Carib villages, and there's some level of autonomy in the Carib villages in Dominica, where they have the chiefs and so forth. But do you hear of the story of resistance in Dominica, a story of resistance, resistance against colonialism, the fight to remain free that story resides as part of the history of human St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a special people. We are a resilient people. We are a people who fight for what we believe in. And that did not start today or 15 years ago or 30 years ago. It started with our ancestors, or Garifuna, the indigenous Garifuna people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a special people. We lead the region, you know. We do things that people are afraid to do or didn't think was possible. As I said, I had this discussion with my head of chambers. Brilliant mind. I like to sit and have these discussions with him because he brings to me a number of perspectives that I never even would think of. Do you remember in 1989, our people in this country, probably the first time ever in the region, elected a parliament without an opposition? All 15 seats went to the government. And I remember, some people may not because they're too young, but Tajo did it. Tajo, you did it. Kojo, you did it. So you could remind me whether you heard this or not, or whether I was delusional. I remember hearing suggestions and comments like, "Oh, that will never happen in Barbados. They are more enlightened or too enlightened for that to have no opposition. Or it will never happen in here or there." Well, I don't know if individuals who made those comments are aware, but it did happen in Barbados, where they elected a parliament without an opposition, or rather, gave all the constituencies to one party. And it happened twice in Grenada. But where did it happen first? As far as I'm aware, no, let me make that clear. That's as far as I am aware. If you watching are aware of it happening anywhere else where all the constituencies, all the seats in the parliament were voted for one party in an election before 1989 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, please let me know. Please let me know. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the only country I know in this region where there is a diaspora population that refers to St. Vincent and the Grenadines as the motherland. You go to Honduras, you go to Nicaragua, you go to El Salvador. People of Garifuna heritage refer to Euromen, this country, as their motherland. In the same way, people of African descent refer to Africa as the motherland. Do you see that happening anywhere else? I consider it part of the uniqueness of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so, what happened yesterday, as Tajo referred to it as pure gold? What happened yesterday? When the spiritual Baptist, I say I don't do history very much, and I probably need to go and listen to more lectures from Cleve Scott and Gobby Denny. This is to Dr. Gonzalez talk. But the fact that our country is probably the first, this is where the spiritual Baptist thing originated. And they forced to give recognition to the spiritual Baptists because that religion, a religion where the indigenous, the people of Africa who came said, you know what? The Christianity as you're introducing to us is a white man thing. So we'll embrace some of it, but we're going to mix it with elements of the culture, elements of the history, elements of the ancestry of Africa. And the spiritual Baptist was born. And you know, but good evening. They demonized it, you know. It was illegal. You couldn't practice your religion as spiritual Baptist. The white man religion, the Pentecostal, the Adventists, the Orthodox, Methodist, Anglican, Roman Catholic could have been practiced free because, that was theirs. I remember, I remember as a young man in Chateaubriand, there's a place in Chateaubriand called Mission Corner. That's the center of the town. And in the corner, right in the central corner of the town, is the residence that belongs to the Methodist Church. And the Methodist Church is a little bit, well, it's in the center as well. And the Methodist minister lived in the mission house. I guess that's what they call it, Mission Corner. If anybody from Chateaubriand listening and different time better, please tell me. So they call it Mission Corner because the mission house, the Methodist house, where the Methodist minister lived, right in the center of the town. And the Methodist church was right across the road there. And in the Methodist church, there was a wooden school they used to call Little School. That was the primary school that I attended. Used to call it Little School, board school. And over plan was Big School. Today still referred to as the Chateaubriand Methodist School. But the point I'm making is that up until very, very, very recently, the Methodist minister was always a white man that came from Europe. Was not. Was not. Austin from Fitzhugh in Chateau, you're obviously right. In the early 90s, some Hispanic asked me where I'm from. When I said St. Vincent, they told me that there's where their four parents are from, and he was shocked. Yes. There's a documentary on YouTube. I can't remember the name of it, but I looked at it. These people who hold St. Vincent in high regard and reverence. I went to Nicaragua, I went to Bluefields, where we met with the Garifuna people, and they were so honored and excited to receive Dr. Gonzalez and Deputy Prime Minister Montgomery Daniels and the delegation, because these people came from the motherland, from the ancestry. And when I went to Bluefields and I saw what was there, listen to me, I saw Sandy Bay, I saw Rosebank. I swear to you, I saw people that trip on that mission, apart from Dr. Gonzalez and Deputy Prime Minister Daniels, was also my brother John Nero from Greg's and my brother Daikato, God rest his soul, rest in peace, blessed memory. And we looked at the images, the faces there, and we thought, wow. You looking at people and you're seeing somebody from Sandy, from from Rosebank, and so on. That's what you saw. So that's the history of St. Vincent and Greg. Don't matter what they fool you. We're unique. We are the fighting spirit, the indomitable spirit. Fight is in us. Don't let anybody fool you. And part of that fight includes the spiritual Baptist religion. It was not white man religion where a white man came down as priest and father from Europe. It was indigenous to us as Vincentians. Indigenous to us as Vincentians. And that celebration was just done. And St. Vincent has gone to the point, to the place where we now recognize the spiritual Baptist faith as an authentic religion. Listen to me. We have to understand that it's not only the religions brought to us by colonialism and slavery. And some people may not like what I'm saying because, and it's not about God, it's about religion. So believe in God. I ain't questioning anybody believe in God. I'm talking about religion. The religions brought to us by colonialism and slavery are the ones that are regarded as legitimate. The one where they just elected a new pope, head of the church, or where there's an archbishop of Canterbury, the head of the church, you know, or there's a head of PAWI, or there's a executive secretary of the SPG mission of Seventh-day Adventists. One of the founders of the Adventist Church, and I say founders, Ellen Harmon White, wasn't a black woman, she was from Africa. So whether we like it or not, a lot of these religions came to us from colonialism. And sometimes we delegitimize anything that originates from the heart of our African ancestry. So I'm happy to see that our country, our government, our people recognize the spiritual Baptist as a legitimate expression of a belief in God. Tika Medea, good evening. Thank you so much for logging on there. As a legitimate expression of a belief in God. And or the people who worship in that way are not seen as second class. Well, King Austin says, well, see on my father, everybody no point at King. Everybody no point at King of his shoes. You know what I'm saying? And Point King is Austin's father. And you're right. You're right. Point King would be proud of the recognition. You had Point King, you had Raval Harry, those guys. Well, Coach, you don't know about them guys because Coach is a tongue man. But those individuals who log on from Chateaubriand can speak to the spiritual Baptist leaders in Chateaubriand, and I guess North Leeward, the wider region of North Leeward. Point King and Point Harry were the two foremost names in that regard. And that's a part of our history. And I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm not spiritual Baptist. I'm not spiritual Baptist. I jokingly said to someone very close to me that I think I want to become a spiritual Baptist. The response wasn't the most favorable response in the same way as if I said to Miss Marshall, Mama, I will become a spiritual Baptist. I think Mama will like that very much. You know, they laugh after me, they mock me. When I type me and I start to work my spirit is a business, if they mock me. All right. So, Tacho, oh, you went to Bluefields? Tacho, listen to me. You need to go to Bluefields and find a wife in Bluefields, man. Find a guy, find a lady in Bluefields, man. I'm telling you, well, I mean, I say that you should, because, I am telling you to. Yes, that's not the point. But I'm telling you, you go to Bluefields and they speak, they look, they've been said chance. You're seeing it. Now, as I continue to speak, remember, you can call, you can interact. And I wanted to call to interact because I want to test the line. The number 784-532-7650. 784-532-7650. The number is going across the bottom of the screen. Add it to WhatsApp. Give me a WhatsApp call. Let's interact. Let me test the line. Let me make sure that you're coming to clearly. Make sure that people are hearing clearly, because I want to make sure that the lines are working properly. I'm setting this thing up in a jail. I'm setting this thing up because it's our thing. It's we thing. It's our show. It's our show. So I want to test the lines to me. So that's why that's why tonight I didn't book a guest, because the plan was to have the program tonight and make it one of viewer interaction where the viewers would call and interact so to make sure that the lines are working properly. All right. Um, where are we now? So let me see. Give me a call, 784-532-7650. Add it to WhatsApp and give us a call. All right. Add it to WhatsApp and give us a call. So I just feel proud for the spiritual Baptist and King Austin. King Austin was Austin King. Yeah, he's proud, and he's proud on behalf of his father, who was a spiritual Baptist leader. You would lose your money, um, 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 Lavon, Cathy, and Jacobs. You will lose your money. It ain't gold. I've actually stepped up a little bit now. I've stopped doing instant coffee. Yeah, sorry. Nolan Edwards. That sounds like somebody I know from Pity Badel who's greeting from Canada. I could be wrong, but it looks like someone from Northfield. Greetings to you and good evening. Share the live if you're joining us for the first time. Welcome to you um, to the program. And I am interacting with callers this evening. So if you don't mind, you can add our number on WhatsApp, give us a call, 784-532-7650. Give us a call and let's engage, let's interact. All right. So that's what we're doing this evening. I'm speaking, I'm talking, but the whole idea is to have this program being one of interaction, telephone interaction. All right, I'm all set up. Everything is in place. Last week I was getting that click, 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 and so forth. I've sorted that audio at the name, uh, um, um, my partner could you anybody complain about the feedback and the noise. So I guess that audio is sorted. So let's take your calls. All right, the lines are open. Please give us a call. Let's engage. Even if it's a good night, a listening, and if the sound is good and so on, I want to hear and test the sound to make sure that the call working. All right. Yeah, Nolan, so she ran pretty well. All right. Because I think I know who Nolan is, I might be wrong, but I think I know who Nolan is. Uh, but yeah. All right. Rochelle, good night, good night, good night. Thank you for logging in. And as you log in, I ask you to please share the live. Don't forget, by the way, those of you who might be interested in acquiring your own mug in support of the program, let me know. Mugs are available. They are available on sale. Contribution price, where you can contribute to the sustainability of the show. Now, listen, you notice I don't have ads, I don't have nothing, but the show goes every week and everything costs. The equipment costs, the streaming platform costs, everything costs. But there are no ads. All right. So if you want to support the show, you can contribute by a donation, or you can purchase a mug, which also goes towards the continued streaming of. Yeah, and remember doing the programs, too. So you can contribute, you can support the show either through a personal donation or through a purchase of a mug. You purchase the mug, we get it to you, and you can support the show. You can do like me when you are watching the show at the evening on a Thursday evening. You pull out your mug, you put your coffee or your tea or whatever in it, and it's all good. All right. So that's just one of the ways you can support the program Uplate with Sion Marshall on a Thursday evening. All right, that's my sister. Getting prepared for what, Chema? It's when it's a 10. We're going. You going on a date or what? I'm going to tell Miss Marshall that you're getting prepared. I don't know what you're getting prepared for. Oh, I get prepared to flu. To flu. All right, maybe. Um, I've never tried Pete's Coffee. Listen, call me now, man. Stop asking me all these questions online that I can't see all these things. And call me and let's chat. I tell you, I want to test the thing. Kojo said recently they were going to add it to call. Like he added it. Add the thing. Give me a call. Tonight's interaction is to you can ask any question, you can have any discussion, but I want us to chat. I want to test the phone system. I want you to call. Please give us a call. Let's chat. Let's talk about yesterday. Let's talk about anything that you want to talk about. Ask a question. Tonight is viewer interaction. Constantly when of course I've gone to wake and meetings and so on, but I've never eaten the food. No, I never have. Just recently, someone close to me had a death in the family. uh, Grandmother passed, and I was at the funeral. And then a few weeks later, there was I think it was the 40 night celebration. I know you, Aston, you know the 9 night and the this night and that night. So one of the nights, there was a celebration, and I went there and so forth, and I had food. I had food, but the rhythm of, I don't know, the authenticity of the fellowship and the worship of the Baptists. There's no organ, there's no keyboard. There are no drums. It's just the rhythm of the soul. The rhythm of the soul. The clapping of the hands, the stomping of the feet, and the raising of the voices in praise. When I say drums, I mean trap set. Trap set. That's what I mean. I mean the Congo drum. I mean trap set. I saw videos of Dr. Gonzalez beating the Congo drum at the celebration and so forth. And that's Dr. Gonzalez. I remember a few years ago, I went to the funeral of a lady, the mother of Rosette Bennett, and Dr. Gonzalez was in the thick of things, just fellowshipping and getting involved in worship with the spiritual Baptist. And so that's what he does. And you can't begrudge the man and vex the man if that's what he does. But I noticed recently, and I'm just mentioning this as I noticed it. I noticed recently that the leader of the opposition, Godwin Friday, the Honorable Godwin Friday, was at a similar spiritual Baptist event, and one of the ladies there, I don't know if it was a mother, and they were just worshiping together. She had his hand, and they were walking up and down well, dancing through the pews and so forth, and he seemed to be enjoying himself. So even Dr. Friday has caught on regarding the sweetness, to put it colloquially, of the worship and fellowship of the spiritual Baptists. So I guess now the arguments will be put to rest. The comments about Dr. Gonzalez fellowshipping with the spiritual Baptists will be put to rest, because now Dr. Friday is doing it. And so if you had a problem with Dr. Gonzalez, you should have a problem with Dr. Friday. And if you don't have a problem with Dr. Friday, then you should have a problem with Dr. Gonzalez, because he's been doing it for a long time. Been doing it for a long time, right? Could you call? I'm direct to say there was no call. So let's try again. WhatsApp Kojo 784-532-7650. The number is there on the bottom. Try it again, please, Kojo, because I'd love for you to call and engage with you. Make sure that the line is functioning perfectly, that the listeners, the viewers can hear both of us, and there is good quality audio going out, right? Because as it is now, it appears that there's good quality audio going out. Okay, I think I hear a call coming in, so we're going to try that. Oh no, that was the director testing it, Kojo. So you must have done something, because the director tested it and it's working perfectly. So try again. 784-532-7650. The number is at the bottom of the screen, scrolling across there. And so all you have to do is add it to WhatsApp and give us a call. It's working perfectly fine. My director just checked it and it's working. So the call is coming in. Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for staying up late.
Okay, so now you're connected.
Yes, you're connected. You're definitely connected.
Right, because I called you just now, you didn't answer.
Well, I didn't get the call, so me know what happened because I didn't get the call. But thank you so much for
And
being
you,
being
and,
on the
and,
call tonight. I appreciate it. I hope the individuals who are logged on are hearing.
I hope so.
Mm. Coach O,
No,
just a question for
yeah,
you, right? In California. Now I know you're not in Los Angeles, but the honorary consul of St. Vincent and Grenadines to California, Dr. Cadrin Gill, who is of Garifuna descent, is based in California, right?
yeah,
Where in California is he
He's
based?
in Los Angeles.
He's based in LA. Now, what is
Right.
the Garifuna makeup like in LA and in your neck of the woods?
Well, in Los Angeles, they are much larger than in Oakland, California.
Mm,
But we normally, well, we haven't had a meeting in my house for a long time, but we used to regularly have meeting at my house.
okay,
And the guy who comes over from the organization to um, all that meeting was planned in my house the very first time they came to St. Vincent.
okay. When they came on the pilgrimage on March 14th.
Yeah, the
Mm,
guy I think it's Palancia.
okay,
He he. I remember when he was raising funds. Because I couldn't come with him that time because March is never a good time for me to come to St. Vincent.
mm, okay,
And so I made my contribution financially towards him coming there.
okay.
And we used to have Garifuna classes here where we teach Garifuna language and all that kind of stuff. But you know how it goes, some organization, once money get missing and money get move around, people just close down. And so a lot of those organizations just close down just like that.
Mm, mm.
So
So,
sad.
I mean, California, well, LA, and even well, Oakland and LA may not be as vibrant as New York, but how would you describe the Garifuna community there?
No, no, in Los Angeles, they're pretty vibrant. It's not, is the part that is not vibrant is Oakland.
Okay, okay, okay.
Because in Los Angeles, they have where the Garifuna organization put on Punta Rock festivals and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I've been to a couple of them Punta Rock festivals. You know,
Mm, okay,
it's the music is similar to soca in a sense to me, with an African flavors. So,
okay.
the
And and
dances.
and
Is,
finally, Kojo, before I let you go, what are your plans for Carnival? Because I know you don't ever miss a Carnival. I know you come through every time. You're very active. You're very engaged. You're very involved. What are your plans for Carnival this year?
well, the first plan I have, I don't drink anymore, so that
You what?
I do not drink alcohol anymore.
Okay, that's the first plan. I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. No problem. I mean, I was just about to tell you. I was just about to tell you that where my office is located, it's close to the location of three mass bands: Nelson Block, Lynx, and what's the third one? There are three mass bands located on that compound. Nelson Block does its registration. Um, Lynx, I think, does one. My partner Santana. Santana, remind me,
Will
please.
you on back street?
On Backstreet, close to Randy's, in where Eustace Auto Supplies used to be. There are three mass bands based in that one compound.
So
Yes,
you more like you're more like down Bottomtown.
yes, close to Bottom Town, close to Bottom Town.
No, yeah, once you pass that bridge, you're down Bottomtown.
Okay, sir. I hear you. I hear you. So there are three mass bands
That
in
my
one compound.
that my something wrong. I know where you're at, man. I know. I
Well,
find
hear
you.
this thing now. So in that compound, my partner Santana is there with his band, and there's a little bar there as well. So it's a place. I mean, no, since none of us drinking alcohol, because I don't drink alcohol either. So you don't drink alcohol, I don't drink alcohol. We can sit down at the
We,
bar.
yeah, we could go there and have we call Mai Tai.
You understand? I ain't going to drink much of the malt because they just sugar bombs and go inspect my insulin and
No,
come
no,
back.
I said Mai Tai. I didn't say Mao.
My tie, okay. Whatever that is,
Mai
we
Tai,
drink. We drink that.
Mai Tai is virgin a virgin margarita, a virgin let me just say virgin anything they sell in the bar.
Okay. So I need to tell Santana to make sure he gets some of those drinks there because as someone who has never had alcohol in his life, which is me, and you who don't drink alcohol anymore, when we come there, we would want something that's non-alcoholic.
Right.
So
But
so so
I
so
think
as always, go
I
ahead.
think they're making 0-0 there in St. Vincent now too, right?
I've never seen this in Vincent Kojo. I've seen it. I mean, I lived
I
in Europe
I
for a while, and
I,
I've seen
I heard,
zero Rare, zero Guinness, and so on and so forth. But I've never seen it here.
yeah, but I hear they make them in St. Vincent. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to find that out. I'll have to find that out. So I can expect you to be
Anyhow,
home soon.
25th.
All right, sounds good. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward. I mean, I am looking forward. Even though you and I don't drink alcohol, I'm looking forward. We can definitely hang out a few times.
All right.
All right, coach. Thank you so much for calling. My good friend and avid supporter of anything I do, whether I'm on Star Radio, uh, my shows here, Uplift with Sion Marshall, Sunday City. I can count on Kojo as being someone who would log on and follow the program right through. So thank you so much for calling, Kojo. It's no surprise that you're one of the persons calling to engage and interact live on air with me as I really try and make sure that I have the system set up. Now, just to say that I may be transitioning from the existing platform I use. I use a streaming service called StreamYard, but I am looking to migrate from StreamYard to a different streaming service. Over the next couple of days, I'm going to be testing that new streaming service, testing its capacity and its capability to handle calls, and because it gives me more. It gives me more than StreamYard for less. I'll tell you something, I'll tell you something. To use StreamYard to bring this program to you costs me almost $800 for the year to bring this program to you. And as I try to up in this current format, but if I have to upgrade, which I need to do as I improve the quality of the program to get more functionality, it's going to cost me about $1,000 just to use StreamYard alone. That's just for the streaming platform. That's not for anything else. That's not for equipment. That's not for the internet. That's not for anything else. That's just the StreamYard, right? And like I said to you a while ago, uh, this I do this for love because it's not an income generating activity, right? So I'm looking at a new or a different uh, uh, service that offers a lot more, that is slightly less expensive, and the reviews are really good. So over the next couple of days, I'll be testing it. I'll probably launch it for Sunday City this Sunday coming and see how it works. And if it works well, I would make it permanent as I migrate from StreamYard, right? So that's just something by way of announcement that may happen over the next couple of days. But again, like I said, it's all in the interest of ensuring that one, I offer quality, a quality program, a quality uh, um, product that people are able to look at and appreciate as a professional setup, and that it is not. Thank you very much, Kojo. Thank you so much, Kojo. And I know you ain't want the world, know the world, but Kojo has contributed to the program before, so it's no surprise he has contributed to the program financially to ensure that the program stays on air. So thank you very much for that commitment, Kojo. You know, because I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to continue to offer a program that allows for, you know, Vincentian talent, Vincentian expression, Vincentian voices to be heard. We have a lot of programs lined up for you. There are a lot of individuals who have booked since I was in the UK who've given me the okay. Shafiqa Maloney has agreed since I was in the UK to the program. The new head of the UWI Open Campus, Dr. Risa Noel McBarnett, has agreed to do the program. I mean, there's so many programs lined up that I've just not brought yet, but they're there. So know that as I work on the format of the program, that there are a lot of things in store for this program, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. All right. So listen, keep it locked. Stay tuned to our Facebook page. By the way, again, also you're going to see a changing of the platforms as well, because as it is now, the platforms are Uplift with Sian Marshall. I'm going to change the name of the platform because what is happening is I have multiple shows, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name of the platform to an entity which I'm working on incorporating, and that entity is going to produce different programs. Uplift with Sian Marshall being one of them, Sunday City being another of them, and so forth. All right. So thank you so much, Austin. I appreciate your commitment. And I know you're going to support a Shatterman as a Shatterman will support you. We're in this thing together. So look, expect excellent, continue to expect proper, good, educational, informative content from this platform as well. If you want to sponsor me, Gemma, no problem. I ready all know so, right? Expect proper content, great content, excellent content, educational content from my platforms, because that's all I'm interested in. I'm interested in bringing information to you, in educating individuals, in informing individuals. I'm not about fake news. I'm about information, education, and yes, there is some entertainment. All right. Let me thank you so much for tuning in to this evening's edition of Uplift with Sion Marshall. It was really a good program. I was just able to speak to the celebration of the Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day yesterday, and had a good call from Kojo as we tested the audio based on the fact that there was no negative feedback. I am assuming that everything went out fine. The call quality was good. The audio so far was good this evening, and so everything it seems to be good, and so I'm happy for that. All right. Let me thank you so much for all of you who stayed with us for the hour. Let me thank you for sharing the program. The programs remain, or the program remains on all of our platforms. By the way, one of the additions of the new platform I'm migrating to, StreamYard allows me to stream to 3 destinations. This new platform allows me to stream to 9 destinations. So as of next week, I'll be able to stream, upload not just from you to YouTube and Facebook, but also to Instagram and to TikTok. All right. So there's a lot more capability with this new one that I might do. So those of you who've committed to sponsoring or contributing, I do look forward. I'm grateful, and we'll be getting in touch where that is concerned. Until next week, Let me thank you for staying up late. Have a good night.